Welcome to the JM Exchange Podcast. Just have normal conversations with people in the Cleburne, Johnson County, and surrounding areas. I want to take a minute to thank some people that helped me put this together. First of all, I want to thank God. Could not have done this without Him. I'd like to thank my wife for all of her support behind me in this. My friends and family for their support as well. Also want to say thank you to Blake Jones Agency, Rock Old Cattle and Construction, Carson Luce for graphic design, Jerry Lair with bjjloan.com. Reach out to him for all your residential loan needs. John Bendez, Texas Elite Graphics and Signs, Rogue MMA, and the guests that come on to share their stories. Hope y'all enjoy the show. Thanks, guys. All right, we're rolling. Dwayne Stone.
All right.
Good to have you on, man.
You too, bro.
So why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell everybody where you were born and raised and what got you in this chair today.
All right. Well, my name's Dwayne Stone. I was born in El Paso, Texas, and raised. Basically, got into rough life growing up back in the days, being close to the border, doing stuff I shouldn't have been doing, and my parents and I thought it would be best if I moved away from El Paso, so they got a hold of one of my sister's ex-husbands and worked it out where I could stay with him, get a job, and kind of grow up. I was 19 years old and moved out, from El Paso to Fort Worth. And I stayed in Forest Hills when I first got there. It was really weird when I got there because I came from El Paso, as majority Hispanics, and my parents were military, so I grew up military lifestyle. And when I moved here, it was, I got there, then I woke up the next morning. I was like, hey, man, I want to go to the convenience store and, give me some, some snuff and some snacks and stuff. And they're like, all right. And my brother tried to hand me this gun. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, you're going to need it. I was like, why would I need it if I'm walking to the store? He goes, you'll see. I was like, nah, I don't want that gun. So I started walking up, and it was in Forest Hills. And it was off of England and Forest Hill Circle. And where I was staying at was a trailer park. Mm-hmm. So I walked up to the trailer park, and I took a right and started walking down the road and then looking around and stuff, and, started noticing there's a lot of black people in this town. I was like, okay. Well, a couple of them started saying some slurs to me, and so I was like, you know what, maybe I should go back on and see if he'd give me a ride to the store, because it was new to me, you know what I mean? And so I went back and I told him, hey, why don't you just give me a ride up to the store? And so he took me up to the store and he explained to me, it's not that they're racist or anything like that. It's just, territorial kind of thing, And where we were living at was a lot of gangs. And so you got the blue and red in Fort Worth. And, I had to watch what color shirt I wore, if I was walking around or anything like that. But I ended up making some friends there. And we'd go chill out at CC's Pizza, when I got off work, and chill out and, eat pizza and played some video games they had in there. And got a lot of friends that way. And then what I was doing, I was walking door to door, hanging flyers on doorknobs, like Domino's and Papa John's. And,
just boots on the ground.
Yeah,
soliciting.
Yeah. It got me in shape. And my brother-in-law's cousin owned the distributing company H&H, and I told him I wanted to become a driver. And he goes, well, to become a driver, you got to own a van, because he subcontracts to the drivers.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
So I was like, oh, I ain't got a van. So I stayed as a walker, and then my car, which was in El Paso, I had a Mustang that was in the shop. It was finally done, so I took a bus ride home and drove the car back, and I had the car for about maybe 2 months, and I was like, I'm going to trade it in for a van. So I traded in for a van and started my own first business. I was 20 years old, and it was W.D. Stone Distributing.
Hell yeah,
nothing illegal, at the time. But anyways, I started that up, got me a crew, and built that up, and moved out of Forest Hills over the west side of Fort Worth, and moved in with a couple buddies of mine. We were all roommates and stuff, and did that for a little bit of time. I got into an accident, and really don't want to talk in deep into that because a life was lost. I lost my license and stuff like that. I was underage drinking, so got that deferred. But I was hanging out at tattoo shops, bonehead tattoo mainly, and then Deep Ellum, I'd go to some tattoo shops there and stuff. And I became good friends with Cody Fuller. He's the owner of Bonehead Tattoo. And he says, hey, man, we were sitting there one night and we're actually, partying. And he was like, you said you know how to tattoo? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you want to become apprentice? In the real industry, instead of being a street scratcher and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. So they took me on, and I started apprenticing there. Yeah, that was back in '96, and I apprenticed there for a little bit, and I say about a year being an apprentice. He finally says, "Hey, it's time for you to work here for money." Because I didn't get paid being an apprentice there.
Oh, really?
No.
Yeah, I didn't know how any of that stuff worked. So you just basically, whatever you make on tattoo, just go straight to the shop.
Yeah, you're the U-boy. U-boy do this, U-boy do that. Clean up, tattoo artists to get done. You mop after you done that. Clean up his station for him.
Gotcha.
And practice, on fruit because they didn't have fake skin back then. So grapefruit was our thing. Practice on that, drawing. And then once they felt comfortable about, me tattooing, which I moved fast in it because I already knew how to tattoo. So I'd bring some friends in and do some, tattooing on them. And I moved up pretty quick. And so I finally started working there as an employee. Me and Cody are still friends today. I mean, we're going to work together next week with some sign stuff, for my company. And he also owns a neon sign shop that he builds the real neons where the gas goes through the
that's
glass.
Cool, man.
Yeah, he's made some stuff for our shop. And we do a lot of prints for him because Grumps, he did a lot of neon stuff for Grumps hamburgers. We did all the back print for him, and then he did the neon around it.
Oh, right on, man.
Yeah, so...
Go ahead. Oh, you're good. Go ahead and let's since you brought up your company, why don't you go ahead and get that out there so everybody knows what your company is.
All right. Yeah, my company is Texas Elite Graphics and Signs. We were out in Osceola off of 171. We started back in 2017 as a print shop in Haltom City, Texas, and we worked out there for a while. And then when COVID hit, rent went up and we were struggling a little bit. So I have a 1,200 square foot shop at my house over in Covington. We converted it into a print shop. It's in the middle of nowhere. So it struggled from 2021 until 2024. I partnered up with somebody, and they built a brand new building on their property off of 171 next to their business. And ever since then, it's just been great. We're not making a crap lot of money, but we're surviving.
Yeah.
We're getting bigger deals and bigger deals now and contracts and stuff. It's the print life is it's a struggle. You got to sell a lot to make it.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize how it is. A lot of your customers, they'll call and need something by tomorrow, and they just don't understand how that doesn't work.
Yeah, it takes minutes to print stuff out, yeah.
So, there's designing. They send me something that they got off of Chat GPT or, AI, and they send it to me and say, hey, I want this printed on a 4x8 sheet. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So, I drag it in my program, blow it up, and it's pixelated.
Yeah.
Can't use it. So, they don't understand the stuff that we got to do to get it print ready. It's a struggle. But we get it done. We offer signs, banners, car wraps. We do a lot of car wraps.
Oh, okay.
We do a lot of stuff for the sheriff departments, the constables, police departments, fire departments. We do a lot of that stuff. But our main thing is sign and wraps. So we do some apparel.
Oh yeah, man. All right, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you on that one, but I just figured we'd get it out the
I know.
front of the podcast.
I totally forgot to say, who I was with. You know what I mean? This is the whole point of being here. So,
anyway, you were talking about like with the guy that was doing like glass,
the neon,
the neons and stuff. Sorry. Anyway.
Yeah, no. So Cody, he kind of helped me get into the tattoo industry, and I worked with him until about 2002. I left Bonehead Tattoo and went on a venture of doing arcade games and 8-liners and pool tables and jukeboxes and stuff for a company that was based out of Georgia, and did that for a while. And then I was with my second wife, and we were going through some issues towards the end in 2003, and got separated. My mind went left, wasn't thinking right, went back to my old ways back when I was teenager years, not thinking right, and made a bad choice and got locked up in 2003. And 2003 I got locked up and got sentenced to prison for 12 years. I did 5 on it. Got out in 2008, completed my parole in 2015 with flying colors. I wasn't trying to go back to prison.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
But in prison, rewind. So when I was in the county, I became a trustee, and then I became an outside trustee. And the funny story is, the guy that got elected for sheriff was kind of like a friend of mine. And, so I was in, we got in a little fist fight up there in jail, and so they segged us. And when I was in seg, waiting to go back, and then we had to do a 30-day seg. I was waiting to go back. He was introducing himself. And he opened up my cell, and he's like, Dwayne? And I was like, Gene? And we're like, what? He was like, looked at the, he looked back at the administrator, and the captain was like, hey, I want this guy some, some oranges. I want him to be a trustee. And he goes, I'm going to come back and talk to you. And I was like, all right. And I met Gene through Bonehead Tattoo. So I did all his tattoos.
Yeah, I got you.
So we kind of, talked a little bit. He made me outside trustee, and he was changing all the decals and all the stripings off the police cars. He ordered them. I had to strip them, and it was me, Ronnie, and Lonnie that was doing that. We're outside trustees, and we put all the new graphics on. So that's where I kind of learned how to do the graphics and stuff, how to apply it and then take it off. I didn't know nothing about doing the art or, graphics and, designing.
Design, yeah.
I didn't know none of that stuff. But when I went to prison, I kind of got in a little rough spot. They put me in SEG there. They couldn't confirm me or anything like that. And the GI at the time was like, man, you're a smart dude. You seem like, you're not out here causing problems. You're not the loud guy yelling at everybody here. And he goes, if I get you on a unit, would you take advantage of it? Because they got college, they got, trades, they got all kinds of stuff you could do in prison to better yourself, because they say prison's to reform.
Yes, to reform you.
But, man, when I was in prison, 90% of them people I knew were coming back. Because all they talk about when they get out, they're going to do a bump, they're going to do this, And
yeah.
So, I distanced myself from them kind of people. My cellie was from Chicago. They called him Chi-Town, and I hung out with him a lot. But I took college. I got me an associate's degree in computer science, and kind of know how to build build computers. The hard drives and how the inside of the computer, and software. I wasn't too good on the software, but I could build a computer. And then I took some horticultural and some carpentry, got master trades in those, and I also worked out on the field for the field boss in the horse stalls and stuff, cleaned up the horses and their stalls and fed them and stuff like that. But when I got out, I couldn't get a job. I couldn't use the degree I got.
Yeah.
I was working for $10 an hour delivering glass. And it was really rough. And I had, a guy come that I used to do the gaming with back in the day, before I went to prison. Mm-hmm. And he says, hey, we want to open up in Fort Worth. And I was like, oh, okay. And he goes, but we want you to run it. I was like, man, I haven't touched a game in many years, you know. I mean, I don't know if I can still fix them. He goes, no, man, it's like riding a bicycle. Just get in there and do it. So I talked to my wife, who I'm married to today, about it, and this was back in 2010. And she said, well, let's give it a shot. Mind you, me and her, she was a stay-at-home mom. She had her 4 kids, and I had my son, Grayson, that was born. So we had 5 kids at the house, and I was making $500 a week.
Oh, man, that's tough.
Yeah, it was real tough. But that company helped me grow, and you know, my commission was good, and they bumped my salary up where I was doing pretty good. And that's where I got into the printing, you know, because they did arcade games, you know. So we would build the arcade games ground up, and then would put our own graphics on there. And that's where I got into Adobe Photoshop back then, and learned how to design, how to get stuff, and, you know, create stuff.
Yeah.
And that went on for a while, and the company got a new president in it, and they took my commission away, gave me it raised up to $950 a week. When I was making like almost $2,000 a week, it was like it was a big chunk. So I end up talking to one of my customers. And I was telling him the situation I was in. He was like, well, let's open our own business. I was like, yeah. And he goes, yeah, you got the know-how, I got the money. Let's give it a shot. So we went into business together. And I'd say about the first 2 years was okay. You know, we weren't in debt. The third year, we made over $1 million.
Oh, wow.
So he's like, let's invest. I was like, let's open a print shop. He's like, what? Let's open up a print shop. We got people asking for banners and all kinds of stickers and stuff. Let's just do it. So we agreed to it and bought a bunch of printing equipment. And that's how we got started in the printing business.
That's awesome, man.
It was a struggle at first, and it's still a struggle, you know.
I feel like owning your own business is always a struggle.
It is.
Everybody's like, oh, yeah, you get to make your own hours. You get to do this. I'm like, yeah, but your own hours are double what you would actually make, you know.
Yeah.
People don't understand that, like, oh, yeah, minimum wage is this, and sometimes you don't even make minimum wage.
No.
You know?
A lot of people don't understand that, man. Yesterday, I was on the phone at 6 o'clock in the morning with a customer. You know, they don't realize that. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I'm on the phone with a customer at 9 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
Trying to figure some stuff out. If you put my hours into how many hours I work a week, I make about $2.70 an hour.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah. They don't realize that, you know. But hey, we own the company. We got to do what we got to do. Mm-hmm. We got to keep our feet on the ground, keep moving.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, when you get pushed down, it's how you get back up, you know, and what you're going to do next, you know.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
Yeah, so it's just it's a struggle because I'm in the head of sales. You know, it's me and my business partner doing sales. We got a production company, production crew. You know, we got the girls handling the front, but since we opened up there in 24, I mean, I've been a lot of stress been taken off my shoulders.
Yeah. Well, I knew when I ran, what was it? What year did I run for office?
That was 2 years ago.
Yeah, it was, 3 years ago, something like that. 2023, I think.
Yeah, I was still at the house.
Because you didn't have your shop yet.
No.
Because I know you were talking about the works of building your shop and stuff like that. But I know you did all my signs and banners.
Yep.
I think I had Bennett's do a couple of things, but somebody had reached out to me about you, and I was like, I gave you a call. And I didn't have much money. I was just, trying to do everything myself. I'd taken a few donations here and there to, throw some things together. But when I called you, it was like, wow, I can get so much more. My dollar could go a little further.
Right.
And then things happened and didn't really pan out all that well. But
yeah, I kind of freaked out on it. I was like, so how did Joey do it? And old boy told me, hey, come here. I was like, dang, that sucks.
That was a dumb situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Now when I drive through there, I see your building.
Yeah.
So I graduated from Covington.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, man. I graduated 2002 from Covington. I lived out there I went from 7th grade and graduated from there. And I lived in Blanton, so
Okay.
7 miles from Osceola right there. And I had friends that lived there in that little neighborhood right where you're next to.
Right.
So yeah, I know the area really well.
So you live out here in Cleburne now, or?
Yeah, I live in Cleburne now.
What made you want to move from Covington?
Well, I mean, that's where I grew up. So my parents they
Right.
bought a little less than 11 acres out there. Started out in like a little single wide trailer.
Yeah.
Got things paid down and built a house out there and stuff like that. And then shit happens and they got divorced. And once they got divorced, sold the farm and
Gotta go.
Yeah. And I'd love to live, back out in the country again. And it's been a goal of mine ever since. But
Yeah.
it seems like every year land keeps going up and my savings keep going down.
Yeah. I couldn't believe I didn't even know where Covington, Texas was.
Nobody did.
We lived in Watauga, and my wife was like, it's it opened up Section 8 in Watauga, and break-ins started happening, and all kinds of crazy stuff happening. And I told her I don't want my kids growing up like this. I know how that is. I grew up like that. I want something better for them. And altogether, we got 11 kids. So. Now at the house, we got some older ones that live with us still, but they work for me and they pay their dues at the house.
Yeah.
But I still got 3 that are in school. I'm 52 years old, and I got a soon-to-be 13-year-old, my youngest.
Yeah, so you still got some time. Yeah.
I still got some time. So I didn't even know where Covington was. She goes, I found a place in Covington. I was like, where's Covington? She goes, by Hillsboro. And I was like, I know where Hillsboro is. So we came down here and looked at it, and she fell in love with it. 6 1/4 acres, It's got a 4,800 square foot house on it, and then it's also got a, 1,400 square foot house on it, a 1,200 square foot shop. We run mini cows. We got some Australian lowlines on there.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, little miniature Angus. They're only like 3 feet tall.
Yeah. Oh, my wife would fall in love, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, so
she wants to go to the country so she can start her own little mini farm. She's like, you can start your farm out there, and then I'll have my animals all up here.
Yeah.
Okay.
You should have seen it, man. When we first moved out there, and my kids were like, Dad, what is the donkeys doing? I didn't know how to answer it. I was like, they're trying to make a baby.
Yeah.
Not even 2 weeks later, we're driving down the road, and Tanner, my youngest, he was, I think, about 8 years old then. And he goes, I know how we were made, Mom, and we're headed to go eat. She goes, yeah, a bird dropped you off, and he goes, no, you and Dad in bed hunking. I'm laughing, I'm just trying not to lose it. And she's like, no. And he goes, yeah, Dad told me that's what the donkeys were doing.
Yeah.
And she looked at me, and I was like, oh, man.
Well, you learn a little quicker in the country. There
was no way getting around it.
I know.
And I got some funny stories about the kids out there, man. But moving them down to Covington was the best move we ever done. Straight A students. We had 2 that graduated from there, already. And it's just such a good community there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And I'm glad the print shop's down the road from there. It's only 4 miles from Covington. So, and we try to do our best, to get stuff turned around pretty quick. A lot of print shops, I called just out of curiosity. I texted the print shop and asked him for a size sign, single-sided, blah, blah, blah. And he told me $480. And I was like, whoa. Something I charged originally, $350, So we're a lot cheaper, and our turnaround's pretty quick.
Yeah, your turnaround's a lot faster than some of the other places that I talked to.
Yeah. I just don't like the people want the stuff tomorrow, and that means I got to work all night.
Yeah.
They don't understand the process of getting something print ready. Like I said earlier, they send us some stuff they designed on AI or whatever, and we got to clean it up to get it print ready. It's a lot of hours into that, and the printer will read every flaw there is.
Yeah, there's no mistake in that.
If it's not the gradient's not right, it's going to read the layers of gradient, and it's going to look like crap. You know, a lot of people don't know what the difference between a raster file and a vector file.
I don't either.
Okay, so a raster file is a JPEG.
Okay, yeah.
So if you send me a JPEG, say, hey, I want this printed, it ain't happening. I'm going to have to clean it up. A vector file is something that you created, like a designer created, and then they save it. They created a high resolution. You know, a DPI is like 300.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the lowest. I mean, you could create them bigger, but the lowest is 300. 300 would be perfect. And you save it as an EPS or a PDF. You know, a lot of people, you know, they start designing something, whether they're new with Canva or, you know, or Photoshop or Corel or AI, you know, Adobe Illustrator or something like that. They start not really Adobe, but they start at a DPI at 72, and you can't really do that because the only way that's going to work for a 2-inch sticker, it'll work.
Gotcha.
But if you want me to get that 2-inch sticker and blow it up and put it on an 8-foot by 4-foot sign, it ain't going to work.
Yeah, well, that makes sense too. I mean, when you zoom in something even on a computer, it's completely different.
It is. It is.
So that makes sense. I think I gave you a little run for my money too, because all my signs were black, so you had to print everything black, and then with the letters and stuff on it.
They look good on a computer, but like I taught, you know, a lot of customers say, hey, I want, you know, the black background, this and this and that. A lot of people really don't realize that black is a dominant color.
Mm-hmm. It takes a lot of ink too.
It does. You know, it does, but that's not what I'm worried about. You know, I'm worried about they're getting the satisfaction of getting a customer to see it. You know, putting a white background on there, so white pushes everything out. That's color. You don't see the white. You see what's on the, you know, you see the color. Because white's not dominant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It kind of reflects everything off of it. So if you have a full black background, you're going to see the black more than anything, and you're going to strain to see what you're trying to read.
Yeah.
You know, but if you have white background, you're going to read everything perfectly fine. So
that makes sense.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know that. I mean, I've been an artist for a long time. You know?
Yeah, I definitely didn't know that. I didn't know what I was doing back then.
But hey, it was clean art when you sent it to me, though.
It was nice. I put that on my niece. She did all that stuff for me because I don't know anything about it.
Yeah.
She was wanting to dabble in graphic design. I think she might still be. She designed my logo for this, and I got stickers out. By the way, you can take a sticker with you.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, she designed my logo. She designed my signs then as well. I sent her like a couple of things like, hey, somebody's looking for a girl. She's like, I don't know, it's too much pressure.
Is she old enough to work?
Oh, yeah.
Well, I mean, is she wanting to work at a print shop as an art designer?
She's got an HR degree.
Oh, never mind.
She's like HR person at a bank right now. So
yeah,
she's doing pretty well.
Yeah.
I think it was just something that she was, looking to kind of dabble in.
Right.
She has fun with it. And but maybe one of these days, I don't know, she'll actually take.
Well, if she wants a side job, or we send her some stuff
for
for a certain price. I don't have enough art people to keep up with the stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely give her a card then, man.
I mean, they send us the stuff to make, so we get a lot of companies that send us some stuff, and a lot of new companies that want to do stuff like for a car wrap, for instance. Somebody buys a brand new truck and they want it wrapped with the design. Mm-hmm. So we have to sit there and think and come up with a design. And a lot of them is Chat GPT now,
Mm-hmm.
Since this is what I want, so we got to recreate it.
Yeah.
And I mean, Chat GPT is what I understand. I've never used it. You type in what you want and it creates it. Mm-hmm. And you could change it by changing by,
Yeah,
some
little
verbiage.
Prompts. I want to change this. I want to change that, yeah.
Well, we don't get that. So we got to design every move, every detail that there is on there.
And it's probably not thinking about like what the curve of the truck is. It's probably not thinking of a lot of different things that you have to think about.
Well, that kind of saves us where it's called knifeless tape. So on the curves and stuff, to where we got to do the curves and stuff like that, we'll run the knifeless tape around there and overlay it and rip it off.
Okay.
So it makes a nice curve.
That's cool.
We use a lot of that stuff, man. We always overprint what we're going to do get it on there where we want to do it, and then cut off the access.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense actually.
Yeah, like if they want a special shape and stuff like that, around the fender or whatnot.
That's cool. So what all stuff do you do? I know you do signs and banners and stuff like that, but I'm sure there's.
We do stickers. We do glass. We print on glass. We got printers that'll print on wood, glass. A lot of yard signs. We also laser engrave.
Okay.
Do a lot of laser engraving. Apparel, shirts. We embroider hats. Embroidered polo shirts if you want them embroidered. Print on shirts. Coffee mugs, tumblers. I mean, you name it, we do it.
One of these days, man, when this thing starts making some money,
yeah,
I'm definitely gonna be hitting you up for some swag.
Well, you would get a hell of a discount too.
And I would greatly appreciate that.
Oh yeah, we know how. Another thing about our company. Another thing about our company is that we realize when new companies start, the struggle of it. With apparel, a sign, getting their name out there on their vehicles. Sometimes they want to start small, put something on the back of their window with some perforated vinyl or something, with their logo and information on it. Or if they just wanted some decals on there, whatever it is. And they don't have a lot of money, And when we price it out, when we don't know they're a new business or if they can't afford it, they you could tell by the conversation.
Yeah.
That's wow. You know what I mean? Most of the time, if I feel it here, I'll tell them, look, let's get this done and you make payments.
Man, that's admirable.
They're like, no way. I was like, yeah, let's get it done. I've done it for a few companies here in Cleburne, And
that's awesome, dude.
Had them pay it out, and they did it, I haven't had a customer that didn't.
That's great.
But there's them ones that you feel like, nah, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'll give you a better deal. I'll knock some money off if this will help you to get started. You know what I mean? Most of the time they will. Sometimes it's still too much, but I can't keep taking from my family's table, so.
100%. I agree with that too. I mean, you got to draw a line somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean, I did a lot of odd jobs and stuff like that. And I helped a lot of people out, and I didn't charge a lot of money.
Right.
But then again, it was taken away from time from my family and stuff like that. Even though I was getting paid, and that was going towards the family and stuff like that, but my time away from them.
Right.
And then people were just started getting involved with other people that are it's too expensive, and I'm like, dude, I'm asking $100. It's going to take me 3 hours worth of work.
Right.
And I got equipment that I'm using. That's a big thing. And yeah, I started learning kind of quickly. Like, you can help people out. It was cool with old people, man. I loved helping out old people.
Yeah.
Older folks just couldn't get their some things done, and I would just ask them, so what are you looking at?
Right.
And they would say a price, and I'll be like, well, here's what I try to get,
right,
per hour. And but I work with people and stuff like that, and sometimes I'll just be like, that's cool, man. I'll do it. I'll do it for that, and just go about my day.
Well, that's
you had those people too that that they want you to do all this stuff, and they're like, I'll give you $100, and I'm like, man, this is like $500 worth of work.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, and they don't care, and they're like, that's all I got. No.
I had a customer just the other day doing that. There's another customer that sent him, and he was like, hey man, I just want to get the back window done. And I gave him the price, and he was like, oh, that's too much, And I was like, okay, I understand. And so I left it at that, And then he goes, hey, man, what if I do the 2 side windows and the back window? So I gave him another price. And he goes, man, I'll do it if you do it for this much. And I was like, nah, man. I was like, I'm not trying to do stuff for free.
Yeah. We got overhead and all that stuff too.
And they don't realize how cheap I am, man. You go to any other print shop, dude, and they're just, I know because I've checked.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, And my price is my price. It's like an insult when they come back on something.
Mm-hmm.
If that's my price, you should just let it be. If you're not happy with it, go to the next person in order. That's the way I feel. I'm not the cheapest, but I'm not the most expensive. I'm in between, and I feel insulted a lot when people try to do that stuff.
Yeah, and there's always going to be those people out there that they're just trying to get that deal. They'll argue over $5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it was a little bit more than 5, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Yeah. And, and then the other thing is like, well, how about would you do it for cash? I'll give you $300 cash. I was like, I still got to pay Uncle Sam, dude. It doesn't matter. All my stuff is invoiced. I still got to pay Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay your taxes for you, buddy.
Yeah.
So that's another thing I got to deal with a lot. This cash. I don't care about your cash. My dad always told me there's, not all cash is good cash.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Well, I think of it like this anyway. Cash value goes down.
It does.
Every day.
It does.
And with inflation and everything else, it goes down every day.
Yeah, man. And with all the stuff we're dealing with right now, it's crazy.
It is crazy. I encourage people to invest in metals.
Yeah, a lot of metals.
Get into the precious metals, man. Have them in your hand.
Yeah.
Not the worst thing in the world.
No, it's not.
It usually goes up. I mean, it's kind of like a stock market,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I try to buy a little here and a little there when I can, and
metal's always going to be more than the dollar.
For real.
I mean, dollar's just paper.
It is or cotton or whatever the hell it is.
They printing on it.
Yeah, yeah, they're printing something on it.
So, but yeah, it's you're right about that, man. It's drowning.
Yeah, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
No.
It's just going to keep getting worse and worse and worse.
And what sucks, man, and I want to pay my people more, but people don't want to pay more for the product, even though my product goes up, like my material, just as an example,
mm-hmm.
I'm paying $100 for this sheet of metal, and then that's my price, and then it went up $25, so now I'm paying $125. I got to try to break it down to square footage, which is going to be fair for the customer, and then I'm telling them, hey, instead of $450 now it's $500. They're like, nah, you're out of your mind, dude.
Yeah.
I'm like, you want me to eat the cost, dude? I mean, I'm here to stay alive.
Yeah. It's capitalist market, and I believe in capitalism.
Yeah.
I mean, you pay for what you want, and what when it goes down, if nobody wants it, you got to do something about it.
Right.
And there's something beautiful in it, but yeah, I mean, you have to use this thing though to like turn it into that. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't understand that when you have overhead, and you have to have insurance on your building, you have to have insurance on your equipment, you have to have insurance for when people get hurt.
Yep.
You have all these overhead expenses: electricity, water, paper towels,
payroll,
toilet paper. I mean, even besides the payroll, that you're paying your people, and you got to make that go round.
Yeah.
A
lot of people don't realize how much these printers cost, man. I've got 2 printers alone that are $96,000 when they came out.
That's nuts, man.
And now, if you want a brand new one, it's like $196,000. So I just keep getting these repaired. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't blame you on
Hope
that.
they don't stop making the parts for them.
Yeah, and it seems like everything they make now is
breaks.
They just got new like appliances like 4 years ago, and they're on a 3-year warranty. Anything goes wrong, they'll send somebody out there. But luckily, none of that has happened. But little things, break here and there, and it's just pain in the ass type of things. It's not keeping it from working. But before you go buy a refrigerator, and 40 years later, you're like, well, got to get this thing repaired, and then somebody comes in, repairs it for a couple $100, and then you go about your business for the next 10 years, and then you get it repaired again. And that's not how it is anymore.
No.
I just saw where somebody online too, they were talking about they just got a refrigerator late last year, and yeah, it's fully under warranty, and they'll come out there, but then it goes bad, and they have a whole refrigerator full of food that goes bad. They don't cover that cost.
No, they don't.
Then they come out there and say, oh, well, I got to order parts. and parts won't be here till next week. So they have a week without a refrigerator. And they get out there to repair it. The parts come in. Oh, well, these parts won't work. So I got to order different parts. And then they got another week without a refrigerator. And then they finally fix it. 2 months later, refrigerator goes out again. Again, a whole refrigerator full and freezer full of food out the window. Hundreds of dollars. And again, they're out there. Oh, well, we got to order parts. It'll be 2 weeks this time.
Wow.
I mean, and that's something brand new they just bought. Yeah, and I think that's just how things are going these days.
You see it a lot on social media, people complaining about that. Mm-hmm. You know, and I'm like, man, my mom and dad had a refrigerator from the 80s, early 80s. And my mom wanted a big refrigerator with the 2 doors and the water and blah, blah, blah. You know, so my dad bought it for her. They took that refrigerator and they put it on the back patio because it was a closed-in patio. And that was back in, I think they did that back in like 92 before I left. It was a year or two before I left. And I went back. Well, when I moved my mom a few years back from El Paso to here, she still had it in the back full of sodas, still working. And she wanted to take that one and give that one to a friend of hers. I was like, no, take that one.
Yeah, no joke.
You know?
Take the old one.
And but she ended up giving it to her friend, and we ended up taking that one, and that one ended up breaking, you know, on the move.
So weird.
It is, dude. They don't make nothing like they do anymore. I mean, you got to think everything comes from China now. Everything. You go to Walmart, you know, everything like pictures, paintings, their furniture, you know, everything. I mean, 98% of stuff that's in Walmart, besides, well, some of the food too, comes from China. You know, it's sad.
It is sad.
And every time I tell my kids to come on, it's time to go to Chinatown, they're like, Walmart? And I'm like, yeah, you know. So, I mean, to me, Walmart's a disgrace. I don't like buying from there.
I don't usually go to Walmart very often. I usually try to shop the local places here, like Kroger, H-E-B, or Aldi.
Yeah.
They're chains, but they're not huge chains. You know, you go somewhere else, you talk about H-E-B, they're like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You know? And, yeah, it's just weird.
It is.
We all keep falling for it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, man. All my equipment comes from Japan. It's not China.
Yeah.
You know, and Japan makes a good product. Hell, they make the best car in the world.
Yep.
You know, hands down.
Yeah, Toyota's a great car.
They make the best dirt bikes in the world, you know. But our equipment's from Japan, you know. So if a couple parts break and they don't have it here in America, they got to order from Japan, so it takes a while to get here. Mm-hmm. But the thing is, our material, none of it's from China unless it hats, like Richardson hats and stuff like that, because that's where they make them, or, you know, some other hats and stuff like that. But I'm talking about like my Diabonds from, you know, either Germany, you know, all my stakes are either from Canada or USA. All my Coroplast that I make, all the yard sign stuff is here, made in Texas. You know, all my ink's made in Florida.
That's awesome.
So everything we try to use is American made, you know, here, besides the stuff that we can't get because they don't make it in America.
Yeah, they just don't make it.
But it's not from China. You know, unfortunately, our hats and everything else, I mean, everything we wear is from China.
Yeah.
You know, the cover of these seats, you know, and that kind of takes me back that you notice that there you see more colon cancer than anything that's going on, like colon cancer and just cancer. Mm-hmm. You know, these seats cause cancer.
Yeah. Well,
everything.
All the plastics and everything. Yeah, it's crazy, man. I've gone down the rabbit hole of the microplastic thing.
Yeah.
And it's in all your clothes. And your skin absorbs it.
It does.
You sweat. Your skin,
oils.
Yeah, your skin absorbs it. And I mean, think about it.
Yep.
Think about it like that. Like, I try to make sure that like my socks and my underwear are 100% cotton.
Yep.
All the time when I buy them, because of that reason. Well, I mean, those are your two biggest things. So your feet absorb and push out. So you need 100% cotton. If you just have plastic on the bottom of your feet all the time, you're constant. Because your feet are constantly sweating.
Right.
And so, and your feet can absorb and push out toxins.
Right.
And so, what do you think they're doing if they're covered in plastic every day?
Yeah.
And then, everybody's putting plastic, underwear.
Yep.
I mean, what do you think? That's a big part of your body that's hot. That's where your two main arteries come from, your legs into the rest of your body. It's hot and it absorbs.
Yep.
And people could say I'm wrong, and that's fine. Go do your own research. That's what I just tell everybody, and come up with your own opinions.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to force anybody to do anything. But a big thing too that I think they should start looking into is hemp products. Mm-hmm. So, and I went down this rabbit hole from when I was going to jiu-jitsu, and I was looking at gis, and you get, all these gis are 100% cotton, and most of them are coming from like Pakistan and stuff like that. That's where you get like a jiu-jitsu gi. It's where it comes from. And you can get them 100% cotton and stuff like that, but they'll last you a good while, even if you're a heavy, user. But they have hemp gis. And hemp gis, not only do they don't carry the bacteria that cotton will, because cotton, like if you don't wash your gi or whatever, it'll create bacteria in there. With hemp, it doesn't do that, and it lasts a lot longer.
Really?
For real. They have gis that like people have had 7-8 years, and they're saying it doesn't even look like a 3-year cotton gi.
Is it itchy?
I've gotten a couple of like bags and stuff like that. Like I've got a gear bag that's hemp. It feels just as soft as cotton does.
Wow. I
have another, like for when I go on my biking rides, like a bicycle. Mm-hmm. It's just a tool bag, and I would just put some tools in it and take with me and put it on there. And because I got a hemp one, and I can go out and sweat and stink or whatever, and I take it off when it dries. It does not smell like sweat. It's amazing, like how it does that. Which I know if I had something that was cotton that did that, you would be able to smell it. I know because I've smelled cotton, like t-shirts and stuff. And I'm like, this smells like ass.
We've been in gym before, man.
It smells like ass. It's really wild.
Wow.
Of how it does that, and it's amazing. But it was outlawed, decades and decades ago.
Wow.
Here in the United States.
The hemp was?
Hemp was, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, what years was it outlawed?
I don't remember off the top of my head anymore. But yeah, it was just kind of the initiative with the whole, getting, marijuana and all that kind of stuff out.
Probably when Bush was in office.
It was probably before that, actually. Who knows?
Then
Reagan's the one that started the war on drugs.
Yeah, that's true.
It was before him, I believe, is when they took all that stuff out.
Yeah.
But
Carter.
Yeah, big, different rabbit hole, y'all.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy.
But it's amazing, man. You can look into it. Hemp stuff is pretty awesome. If I could afford it, I would have hemp t-shirts, hemp underwear, hemp socks, all of it.
Yeah. They just need to legalize it.
Pretty much, dude. I think it's retarded that. Pardon my French there, but I think it's retarded that they don't. It's a plant. For God's sakes.
I mean, it does so much. I mean, ropes. You can make so much with hemp.
Mm-hmm. All sorts of stuff.
And medical use.
Paper. You can make paper out of it.
Yeah. Save the trees.
Yeah. For real. There's a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry to go down that rabbit hole.
But yeah, most of our stuff is made here that we use here in America. I mean, Canada, Germany.
When you can get it here, that's great.
Yeah, we try not to. I mean, if we know it's coming from China, we don't want it.
Yeah.
It's just, and we're not being fascist or anything like that. We just want to buy from Americans.
Yeah.
American
we need to take care of our own.
Yeah.
I just don't think that people look at it like, because I look at like Cleburne and Johnson County and the surrounding counties, like we're all like a community, and it branches out and it branches out, and we all need each other.
Yeah.
And I think we all need each other here in America too. We don't have to agree on everything.
Right.
I'm sick and tired of people just because you don't have the same ideas that I do that I have to hate you, and that's ridiculous.
It is.
We can all get along, and I've said it a few times. Just why I kind of started this is because I think talking about ideas creates better ideas.
Yeah.
And You know, who knows if something that I say on this or something that a guest like you say on this that inspires somebody else, you know, to me, fantastic. I hope it does.
Yeah.
You know, or maybe you don't want to be like me. Either way, I don't care. You know, putting something out there, just try to put good in the world and let everybody know that we need each other.
Yeah. I mean, we're losing it.
I know.
I mean, it's getting rough out there, man. I mean, I try to stay off of Facebook because it runs me hot because how some people could be, you know what I mean? And to me, it's just, it just blows my mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah, me too, man.
Even if I'm like, share something that I believe in, I get attacked. You know, and I can't really say what I really want to say on there because I do have a business page and I own a business and I'm very well known, you know, but there's some stuff I just can't let slide and I let it out, you know, and a lot of people call me, hey, you know, you might want to delete that. And I was like, they probably already screenshot it. It doesn't matter. It's staying, you know.
Well, if you posted it, it's out there forever. It doesn't matter.
It don't matter. So it's just, the world is so freaking ugly right now, man. It just makes you nauseated, you know. And I don't know. It's just, like you said, we need to get along. The world will be a better place.
We all need each other.
Yep.
We do all need each other.
Especially Americans.
Yes.
You know, whether you're white, black, brown, yellow, green, blue, we all need each other, man. You know, that's the only way it's going to make it work.
I 100% agree with that.
You know.
And, you know, I'm glad there's companies out there. Like there's, have you heard of Origin?
Is that a facial, like?
No. So Origin, do you know who Jocko Willink is?
No.
So he's ex-Navy SEAL. He was like a commander or something like that in the Navy SEALs. But now he's got a company and everything that he makes is here in the USA.
Okay.
So I think that they had a long time ago, which this could be, they could have already figured out how to make it here. It was one piece of their boot was coming from some other country, but they make boots, you know, hunting equipment, work boots. They make gis, they make t-shirts, pants, all sorts of stuff. But every stitch, every thread, everything is from the United States of America.
Wow, man, that's cool.
And if they can't find it, they try to figure out how to produce it on their own. And yeah, it's expensive. And I've looked at it and been like, oh, goodness. But it's 100% you're buying from us. You're buying from your neighbor, and so to speak. You know, their company's based it's not in Texas, but still, it's USA made. I've been trying to buy USA stuff for well over a decade. It's hard to do. It's hard to find stuff for one that's all USA made. Because a lot of times it's like, yeah, we sell T-shirts. They're USA made. Yeah, well, they were printed here.
Yeah, the shirt was made.
The shirt was made somewhere else.
Yeah,
and you know, that's a big deal.
It is.
And you know, I don't know. I think we need to get back to that. You know, I mean, yeah, I get it. You probably don't want to pay $2,000 for an iPhone, but
you're paying $2,000 right now for an iPhone, and it's made in China.
And it's probably going to go up, if they started making them over here. I don't know. I think that us just farming everything out is not the best thing in the world to do.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, like capitalism, man. If you bring the products back here, of course it's going to go up, but your pay is going to go up. Everything starts rising, and our dollar starts meaning something. A dollar means a dollar. There was at a time our dollar was worth more than $1. Mm-hmm. But we had a lot of production here. I'm a capitalist as well. But how did I say this? If I feel the Democratic Party was better than the Republican Party at the time, I'm going with the Democratic Party.
Yeah, I'm saying that.
I'm capitalist, but I'm also I can't come up with the word right now. But I go for the better party.
I am too. I think it's ridiculous when people pick a side and they're just with that side regardless of what it is. I think everybody should make their own opinions and their own choices and have their own ideas and go with it like that, not just what you're being told.
Right.
Because honestly, man, it doesn't matter which party you vote for. We got to get past this two-party BS that we got because It's two wings of the same machine that are just arguing over each other, and they want us separated. And because if we got together and all united, they would be in trouble.
Oh yeah, the whole world would be.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
and it's like that too. Right now, we're seeing it with the World Cup coming here.
Yep.
All these, people from other countries are coming over here and realizing, like, oh man, our media has been lying to us the whole time. America's great.
Yeah.
Everybody's so nice and this and that, and you see it all online.
Yeah.
And they're opening up their eyes. We should open up ours too.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's too much hate.
I agree. We need to start hugging each other more or something.
How did we get into politics?
I don't know. It just seems like it's kind of weird how it just turns into that.
Every conversation.
Well, it's because it backs everything, I think.
I
mean,
think
it
so.
really is about everything. Politics are about everything. It's not just
our products coming overseas,
correct.
Everything, because they're the ones that control it all.
Yeah.
And
I'm not trying to talk about politics. It just kind of came up. But the message that I'm trying to get out is we need each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we need more people like you that are just making things here and buying things from here and supporting what we have.
Right.
Because if we let it all go, what are we besides a bunch of people watching Netflix and ordering DoorDash?
Controlled by everybody else.
Controlled, yeah, but letting everybody else making decisions for us.
Yeah.
We need to start making our own decisions and building things on our own and getting out there and doing our own ideas and making it something.
Yeah. Doing our own ideas, we need more of that, you're right. Because a lot of people are using other people's ideas, I mean, I remember when donut shops were just, not many at all. Now they're everywhere.
No, yeah.
Print shops are everywhere. Tattoo shops. When I was working at Bonehead Tattoo back in the 90s, there was only 4 shops in Fort Worth. Now there's over 1,000. I'm like, what? I mean, to me, this is the way I look at it. If I'm working for somebody, I'm not using that to go on my own because I'm getting paid good.
Mm-hmm.
If I go out on my own, I'm going to struggle because now it's a competition.
Mm-hmm.
When you're working for somebody, it's not a competition. I think if companies, and this is kind of like an ideal for us, we're not where we need to be, but when we are where we're at, I want to share my profits with my employees.
Yeah.
And you could call it at the end of year bonus or whatever. I want to give them share profits.
Mm-hmm.
So just if I made $2 million, I want to break it down and give them some too. Make them be happy.
Well, they helped you. They helped you get it.
Yes, exactly. Because without them, we wouldn't have the company.
Mm-hmm.
And without me starting the company and my knowledge of the company or anything else of it, we wouldn't have the company. So It's like a team thing.
Agreed.
That's where a lot of people get lost at. You know what I mean? So they leave and open up this, and then they leave and open up this, and it's just ridiculous, man. If I'm working for somebody and I'm getting paid good and I'm living, I'm going to stay there because you could keep moving up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
and we work for a good company like that. I mean, you got some companies that instead of giving bonuses and stuff like that, they're like, oh, but I can buy a new yacht.
Exactly. And those are your rich.
That's why I like, the whole competition thing is not that big of a deal to me because the companies that are good and the companies that continue to do good and they have their employees that are with them for a long time that know what they're doing and they're making good money and they're making a good living and everybody's happy and everybody's doing well with that company, you're going to thrive more than that other company.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's looking at, what's my bottom line? How big is my bottom line? Oh, it can't be worse than last year. I got bills.
Yeah.
I got a Ferrari. I got this. I got that. I got
Mm-hmm.
You better get back to work,
Yeah.
and there's people that are like that. And unfortunately, there's a lot of those people that run lots of big businesses.
Yeah.
And, the little guy, we're struggling. And I think that, like small companies, I'm a big supporter of small companies.
I am too.
For one, not only is it got more personality to it, more artistic value, more anything. I mean, you got to think of it like no matter what, man. When I travel, I'm not gonna go be like, oh, well, I'm gonna go eat at Chili's tonight.
Yeah.
You know, if you eat at Chili's here in Cleburne and then you drive 5 states away and eat it at Chili's, it's the same thing.
It is.
It all comes in bags. It's all cooked the same. Everything is identical.
Right.
It doesn't matter.
Yep.
But if you go to a local restaurant 5 states away where they do everything themselves, that's a completely different thing.
It is.
And I love that.
I do too.
You get to taste it. You get to feel the atmosphere. You get to feel the people that are working there, and it's different.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different, and I love it. I love doing stuff like that.
Yeah, we went down to when I was a kid. We used to go down to Mississippi and see family, and the soul food there.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, it ain't nothing like home cooking, country cooking. It's really good stuff. I mean, we had some soul food down in Florida. We went down on vacation down there, me and the kids and the wife, and we introduced them to kind of like soul food, and the potatoes taste different. You know, everything's and it's good, and you could tell it comes from here. You know, not here with this. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you're right about that, man. A lot of people lose sight on that.
I mean, when you get somebody that's pouring their heart and soul into a restaurant or something like that, and I'm just using restaurant as an example, by the way, they're not going to be like, well, I got to change my ingredients now because it's getting too expensive. You know what I mean? I got to keep pumping this out so I can keep that bottom line. No, maybe the prices have to go up a little bit. The customer's got to pay a little bit more because of everything else, but you know, you don't want to give that away. You're just giving away part of your soul, I think, if you're doing that.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, look at Whataburger.
Yeah.
I mean, their patties got thinner, the prices got higher, and you know the funny thing is, a buddy of mine had emailed Whataburger one time, "Are y'all still 100% beef?" And he never got a response.
Oh yeah, there's no chance.
It's scary. You know what I mean? A lot of people talk bad about McDonald's. I love McDonald's. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when I'm in a hurry. You know, I could get a 2 cheeseburger meal with French fries and a drink, and for $7.99. You know, under $10. You know, and they're like, "Man, that stuff's bad for you." I was like, "It's the same meat. I don't care what you say. I can make a patty at home, cook it, leave it outside, and it's going to do the same thing the other, you know, McDonald's did. No bread molds anymore.
Yeah, I know, it's weird.
Dog poop ain't ever white again. I mean, you remember when you were a kid?
Yeah.
You know, what is that white? That's dog poop. Now it's just darker. Mm-hmm. You know, it's weird how everything is now.
I think it's another conspiracy theory here.
Hey, but this is what we're about, right? You know,
going down the rabbit hole,
right?
You know, back when they're like, oh, you know, cigarettes are bad for you, tobacco's bad for you. Well, they just pivoted, and they all bought food and cheaper ingredients that keep you wanting to keep shoving things into your face, and that's what they did. That's why, you know, used to back then, you know, your ingredients list was this big,
salt and pepper,
you know, just a couple ingredients, and now it's you know, 100 ingredients goes into everything, and it's the same thing. It's killing you too. It's fake. It's this. It's that, and you know, that's why I'm really big into like farm to table stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I wish I could afford it. I do try to buy like better meat and stuff like that when I do shop.
Yeah.
But I would love to just, hey man, let me buy half a cow from you, go get it processed, and just stick it in my freezer and have beef for a year. You know, same
that's why
thing
we raise them, man.
And that's why I want to move back to the country, just to be able to do that again.
Yeah.
So at least I know where my food's coming from.
Yeah, our beef. I mean, we got freezers full of deer meat, moose meat, elk meat. Now the food, you know, that's usually from a friend, you know, shot an extra deer and got it processed and brought it to me, you know. And I paid him $150 for the processing, you know, something like that. But our own beef, we raise our own cows, you know. Our eggs are from our chickens, you know. And our vegetables, I mean, we get frozen vegetables, and I know they're not 100%. But it's a lot better than canned because it doesn't have all the additives and all that stuff like that. It's just frozen, you know. And my neighbor, he's got a big farm. He always brings us tomatoes, okra, you know, squash and stuff like that. And my wife would sit there and literally cut it up, either make, you know, can it or freeze it, already bread it, ready to fry, you know. And she uses beef fat.
Yeah, tallow.
Tallow. She makes her own. See, I told you I'm going to use big word. To me, that's a freaking big word, dude. When she told me she was making tallow one time, and I was like, so we're having Korean food? You know? She looked at me like I was retarded. I was like, I've never heard that word. I mean, it was just a word I never used, you know? A word that I never heard. And she's like, no, it's beef fat, you idiot. And I was like, okay, good. I'll just call it beef fat, you know?
When I do a brisket, I do the same thing. So I trim it all up, and all that stuff that I trim up, I render it and make fat out of it. And I'll use it to, you know, to cook things. Definitely like to season all my cast stuff. My Blackstone, use it to re-season my Blackstone all the time.
Yeah.
You know, depending when I'm cooking. I mean, because we keep lard too, you know, like baked pork fat, which is, you know, bacon. You know, we cook bacon, keep the fat from that, cook a lot with that, cook a lot with butter. I don't cook a lot with the oils anymore, like olive oil.
I'm trying to get away
else.
from all that stuff, man.
Definitely no seed oils. I mean, olive oil, even after it gets to a certain burn temperature, it puts out toxins as well. I mean, olive oil is meant to consume raw, not actually cooked.
What about peanut oil?
I'm not positive about peanut oil, especially on their burn temp.
I know they burn higher.
It burns
temp.
higher.
Yeah.
The ones that I do keep in the cabinet that I cook with, it comes like in a bottle or whatever, like avocado oil. You can get up to like 550 degrees of avocado oil and it's still okay for you. You know, butter's got a burn temperature, but if it burns, it doesn't put out toxins. It just burns.
It just tastes burnt.
It just tastes burnt.
Yeah.
So it's a little different, but like seed oils and so when you fry stuff in seed oils, man, I could tell. So, like I'll get puffy from eating seed oils. Like if I go out and eat like at a fast food restaurant, the next day, dude, my eyes are swollen, my hands are swollen.
Really?
Oh, my face is swollen. Oh yeah.
Wow.
You know, for about half the day, or unless I go like for a run or do a workout or something, like sweat it out.
Right.
It's wild. I mean, just eating, when you eat clean, it's crazy. That's why a lot of people, when they're like, they'll say they go on keto or carnivore or something like that, and they'll be like, after the first week or two, they'll be like, oh, I could tell you lost weight just by your face. Mm-hmm. And it's just because the puffiness went down.
Right.
I mean, because you're just not inflamed all the time.
Wow. I didn't
because
think
it
about
causes
that.
so much inflammation. Yeah, man, I've done a lot of research on. I'm a nerd. Okay, like when something's going on, I start researching all these things.
Right
and like what causes this and what causes that, and I go down, like I've been down like a lot of nutrition rabbit holes and stuff like that, and then try it out for yourself. Like, you know, eat clean for a while and then go and like eat a McDonald's cheeseburger, and then you'll be like, oh, what is, you know, start
having bubble guts and stuff, you know. Yeah.
Which, you know, I'm not perfect. Nobody is, but you know, I fuck off and eat terrible sometimes, and you know, I love beer, and that's you know, that's the same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing. It'll make you puffy too, man. Yeah. Like, you know, it's just crazy that these little bitty things, and they sell it like it's the be all. Yeah. You know, this is the only way that you can get food, and this is it. You know, you got to have it like this, and it's not true, man. I think that we need more gardens. I think that we need, you know, more beef. We need more of this and more of that, and people helping each other out, and like, hey, you know, think if you just in a neighborhood, and you're like, well, you grow this, and then you grow that, and you grow this, and then, you know,
you barter.
At the end of the month, we all trade. Yeah. You know, we all put in the time. We all did this. We all grew our stuff. And then you get to go and trade everything out. So I'm going to give you a bunch of corn. I'm going to get some tomatoes.
Well, that's how they did it, in the, you know.
And back in the day, I know.
1800s and below. I mean, they did it some in the 1900s, but more so back then. You know, there was a barter system. Mm-hmm. You know, you got flour, I got veggies. Yeah. You know, a lot of them broke bread together. You know, they'd travel in a wagon for a while and go eat dinner at so and so's house. You know, and stay the night there, and the next morning they hightail back home.
Yeah.
But they go and eat, but they also barter. You know, everybody has something that everybody else needs. You know. But
well, now even like farmers and stuff like that, they're told what seeds to plant.
Yeah.
They're told what to plant.
Hell.
I mean, it's nuts. Like,
and they regulate it.
Yeah, and they regulate all of it.
Yeah.
And there's something to that too.
Well, just like Obama bought all the when he was in office, they bought all the dairy farms.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he bought all the little dairy farms that in Covington. Covington used to be full of dairy farms.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Blum.
Yeah, I know. I had family that had dairy farms out there.
Right. Rio Vista, Mm-hmm. And I don't know if it was an environmental thing, but I know they bought them out, made them close down. But I don't know if it was government milk or what they did with it. But I think they moved it out like West Texas, Amarillo, and kind of like away from cities.
Yeah. Well, I know one thing too is like getting like raw milk. It's like, nah, you can't sell raw milk. What?
You could donate it, like.
Yeah, but it's wild.
Yeah.
No, you gotta buy the milk that we put in this plastic container. Mm-hmm. You can't go and just buy raw milk. That's illegal.
Yeah.
Can't sell it. That's ridiculous.
I know some that do dairy and they just leave it in the fridge, and if you want a gallon, you go get a gallon. If you want to donate some money to them, then you can donate some money to them. But I love raw milk. The first time I tried raw milk was a few years back, and he brought me a sample of it, and I was like, holy crap.
It's definitely different.
There's a dairy farm here that the Vogans it starts with the V. They're out there. They're here not too far from here, maybe 2 hours. But they do all their dairy there, and they bottle it there and everything, and it's in a glass jar.
Nice.
And in fact, I'm going to take a picture of it next time I see it and send it to you.
Yeah, for sure, bro.
You need to try it, dude. It is thick, and it is good.
Yeah.
It is good. It's like the best milk I've ever tasted.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry I went down that rabbit hole, man.
No, you're good.
And y'all, sorry about that. I I could be wrong about things. I'm not right on everything, but I tend to do some research and then my own things that I've tried over the years. Eating clean, eating certain ways, and then when I eat this, it's like,
I notice I'm 52 years old. I'm tired a lot lately, and maybe it is from when I didn't, what I'm eating or not exercising or anything like that. I sit a lot at the desk. I'm always on the phone, taking orders, but I'm also out doing measurements and installs when I need to do installs. But that sun beats me up. Mm-hmm. If I got to be outside doing an install after 9 o'clock in the morning, I don't want to go.
Yeah, I don't blame you on that, especially in Texas in the summertime.
I had one of my employees call me this morning asking me, "Hey man, I'm here in Godly to do this install," and it was 6 o'clock in the morning. I was like, "You already there?" He goes, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat that sun." And he did, he got up at 4 o'clock, and got everything loaded and went up to Godly, and he was done probably about, I don't know, a couple hours later, and it wasn't too hot.
And there's something about those farmers who are like, I like it when all the work's done before noon.
Yep. Yeah, I love that stuff, dude. I love that stuff.
Yeah, the heat.
Yeah,
it's hot.
Unless you're in a tractor with air conditioning, that's a lot different. And thank God they make them like that now, man. So now they can work longer and they're not, in the heat.
Yeah, that's true.
They're just polluting the air more.
Yeah, that's for sure.
I'm just joking.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that's a different rabbit hole.
Right. Everybody pollutes the air, man. It doesn't matter who you are.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, us breathing is polluting the air. But thankfully we have these things called plants that, they actually breathe in what we breathe out, and we breathe in what they breathe out.
Yeah, it's crazy how it works.
Imagine that, huh?
Yeah, but they want to destroy it all.
I know. Yeah, it's wild. It's so wild.
Yeah. But
anyway, sorry, I got to take you down that rabbit hole. Anyway, back to back to your story. Sorry, I took you down that.
No, you're cool, man. I'm here to learn about you as well, man. And hell, I only known you for a couple years, but not really know you. You know what I mean?
Just kind of acquaintances,
right.
I guess.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think we're going to become buds after this.
Oh, for sure, brother, for sure.
Yeah.
So let's talk more about your company and stuff like that. So what are some of the big big jobs that you've had come through that like they have signs that somebody would know, and you could be like, oh, I made that sign, or I made this, or I made that?
I mean, we've done some really big signs. Like recently, we did one in Covington. So Covington Baptist Church, their sign, revised and upgraded and stuff. So I designed it up for them. They actually did the design. I just took it, vectorized it, made it bigger, and to the size they want. And then we made the signs. It's actually a banner material, like a backlit banner materials, because it lights up. And we did that one. That one was 6 foot wide and 6 foot tall, or 16 foot wide and 6 foot tall.
So how does that work? So I didn't even know this. So like billboards and stuff like that, I didn't realize that was just like a gigantic banner that gets tied around the things. Yeah, I used to think they went up there and painted that stuff up there. Like,
when I
was young, that's what I used to think they did. And then I had a buddy that was like, he goes, "Oh, I got plenty of like tarps and stuff like that." And I'm like, "Where are you getting all these tarps that are gigantic?" And he was like, "Oh, I had somebody that was they used to have billboards, and so they just had all those billboard signs like just wrapped up, and of course they're nice, thick, like it's not leather, but it's a
vinyl.
It's like a big heavy duty vinyl.
Yeah,
and they'll last forever.
Yeah, basically it's just like you said, it's a heavy duty vinyl banner material. You know what I mean? And it's got D rings on it all the way around to the eye loops. And the billboards, a lot of the times you use ratchets to stretch it around, and it's just ratchets around there. And you stretch it and stretch it, and you leave the ratchets on there because they interchange them so much. The ratchets don't. But the sign that we just did, it's got a trim around it. Okay. So you take all the trim around, you stretch it around, you screw it into the metal, and then you put the trim back on.
And then it's got lights behind it that shine.
Yeah, the lights inside the box. Okay. Shines through both.
Interesting. See, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not going to say what we're doing now, but really, it's for a big company, a $1 billion company. We're putting some 16 by 8 foot signs. A lot of those. We do a lot of metal signs. Piecing them together. My buddy that owns Texas Branding Roofing he was out in Crowley, but now believe he's at Alvarado. He wanted a 30-foot sign.
It's a big sign.
I want to just say Texas Brand Roofing with my logo on top. So the logo we did, it was 8 foot by 8 foot. And then the other one, it was 4 foot by 30 foot long. And we got to get the art, and then we got to take the art and kind of cut it up. And then when we go hang it, we got to piece it together.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we do a lot of big jobs like that, too, I love doing stuff like that. And then I love driving down Interstate 35. Like, I did that, And my kids get tired of it. And, Dad, we know you did the sign, Oh, I didn't hang it or anything.
It's okay to be proud of what you do.
I know. I try to teach my kids that, man, but they get tired of hearing it.
Yeah, well, they're just kids.
Yeah.
They're still young and dumb. I was young and dumb once, too.
Yeah, we all were. But no, we do all kinds of signs, man. My favorite thing about the print shop, dude, is create something and seeing it, put together and there. But my favorite thing is about my companies are making stickers.
Yeah.
Because you do the contour cut shapes and die cuts and stuff like that, and I like seeing different stickers. We do so many stickers from so many different people, from bands, political stuff, podcast, all kinds of stuff. We see a lot of cool stuff come through, and just seeing it being in production and being it done, it's really cool to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. Hold on, we're gonna take a break for just a second
All
because. All right, we're back. Sorry, everybody. I had some technical difficulties. Hopefully, I got it fixed.
Yeah. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you good.
All right.
All right. I don't remember where we were. Shit. We were talking about like the last thing I think I remember was we were talking about the lighting signs and stuff like that and how that came about.
No, I was talking about like the stickers and stuff.
That's right. The band stickers and stuff.
Yeah, I like seeing that stuff like that roll through. There's so much stuff that we see so many different designs, ideas, and the look on the customer's face when we, make it.
Yeah.
And present it to them. There's a lady that came in a couple weeks back, and she does a podcast, and she's also a pastor. And she was talking about she wanted something to hang behind her, and she wanted to put on coroplast, which is yard sign material. And I was like, and you got a podcast? And she was like, yeah. I was like, you need something pretty. I was like, she goes, well, what do you recommend? It's like, let us, print on some acrylic on the back end, so it's a nice and glossy on pretty on the outside. We'll do your design the way you want it, just like you want it on there, but we do it reverse on the back side. Get some standoffs and stand it off the wall, and that way, if you want to put some lights behind it to make it glow behind it, you can. She was like, okay, how much is something like that? I told her, well, for the same price, I'll do it for the same price, just because I want to help you out, because I talked you into it.
Man, that's admirable.
I'm there to take their money, but I'm not there to take their money, if that makes sense.
No, I get you, man.
I want everybody's money, but I don't want to break everybody either. I understand she's not making money off the podcast, and she's a pastor, and she's trying to get the word out there. So I made it for her, and the reaction I got out of it was just amazing, And that's with anybody. We had this old man come in, and then this dude would talk. My daughter works up front, and every time he comes in, we expect it, But he always talks about pretty stuff. He goes, he's got a lot of land. He's got a shop that's bigger than my shop that has all his toys in it, trucks and whatnot. And he likes his front, fencing all piped out and pretty and painted, and he's got to be pretty. So his son was rebuilding an old truck of his. And they were putting the wood, slats on the back in the bed.
Oh, that's cool.
And he goes, I want a sign for it. We're going to get an extra battery in there, and I want to put a sign in there. What can you do for me? And I was like, well, what color is the truck? He gave me the details of the truck. And I was like, why don't you do a stainless steel frame with acrylic light box in it? And we'll stick it in the back of the bed behind the cab. He goes, let's do it. So we did. We custom made him the frame, the box frame, did lights all in it, the acrylic. You should have seen that old man, dude. He was tickled to death when he saw that.
That's cool, dude.
And just the reactions of my customers is what I get most out of, because that's what I want to see.
I agree. Somebody being happy.
Yeah, exactly. And I did it for him.
Yeah.
And there was one time he came in, and it was like 4:45, and we closed at 5. And it was just me, my business partner at the time, because everybody was going out the back door,
Mm-hmm.
And so we were sitting there talking to this man, and I looked at my business partner. I was like, hey, man, I'll check you later, dude. I got to get to the house. So next morning, he was like, man, I couldn't believe you did that to me. I was like, what? I stayed there until 6:30 talking to this dude. I was like, what's wrong with that, man? I was like, did he talk about anything bad? He's like, no, man. I was like, you should feel good about some, I love to sit down and listen to old people's stories, because they got the coolest stories,
I know, for real.
And that's another cool thing about the job. You meet all kinds of different people, and their stories about them and about what they do, and their childhood and stuff like that, man. I take all that, and I take it all in.
Yeah.
Give it to me, and I love it. Customer service is where I'm at. Now, if you make me mad, that's a different story, because you're going to get the bad side of me, too. I had a customer come in one time. My art department made the wrong size of the graphics, didn't match the mock-up he sent, and I was the only one there at the time, because he was coming, after work to pick up his trailer. And I'm in the office, and he comes in there cussing at me, like loud, angry. And I was taken back, but I, stood there for a minute, and I was like, you ain't going to come here and talk to me like that. I go, if you want a good reaction out of me, you come at me with a better, coming at me better than what you did, because coming at me with a hostile situation is going to make me hostile. And we both don't want that. I was like, how can I fix it? Tell me what's wrong without yelling at me.
Yeah, for sure, man.
So he
just
calmed
treat
down.
people with respect.
Exactly. So his wife comes in after him. She's like, tell him to calm down, you know. So he gathered his wits, told me it was wrong, and I was like, I'll fix it. Leave the trailer here. I'll deliver it to you tomorrow with it fixed. And I did. When my crew came in the next morning, I was like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Let's fix it. And I'm going to deliver this trailer. And we did. And ever since then, he's been a really good customer.
Well, great. That's good.
You know, he's come back for more stuff. You know, but the reaction of people that, even when it's bad, you know, I take it all. You know, when we mess up, I got to talk to the customer because it's my customer. Whether it was my production that messed it up or my business partner that messed it up or anybody else that messed it up, I talk to the customer because I'm going to make it right. I've been in the business long enough to make it right. My business partner's still learning, you know.
Well, that's great accountability for real, though. I mean, and I love that, the accountability part of it. But I agree that, you know, man, just because somebody messed something up doesn't mean you got to freaking yell and scream and do this and do that. It's like, I feel that most people are out there trying to do the best they can. Yeah. And that's fine, man. Hey, I'm trying to do something for you. I didn't do it right. That's cool. You can just sit there and say, hey, man, it's great except for these things.
Right.
And it's that easy. And you know, you're probably going to turn around and be like, sure, I'll fix it. No big deal. Shit happens, you know.
Well, we got a lot of cool customers, though, man. Even if we mess up, you know, and it happens. We got fat fingers when we're typing, when we're trying, you know, design something and putting a word in it. And it happens, but we send them mock-ups. And when they prove it, it's on them then.
Yeah.
If they didn't catch it. Read everything, make sure everything's spelled right. And we say that in the email. And if they don't, and they approve it, and then it's messed up, that's on them. But most of the time, I'll say I'll redo it. Even though I know it's on them, I'm still going to, you know, make it right. Because a simple back Google review, you know what I mean? I'll give you an example. We've been doing a lot of stuff for Cleburne, you know, Johnson County stuff, like the historical courthouse.
Yeah. We
were doing some directional signs, and I put 2 S's on success or services. It was services. None of us caught it. We were all sitting there and we were looking at it after we installed everything. We're like, man, that's really nice and pretty. And I think we were more about the design and the look of it than really proofreading anything. And it was about a week later, and he goes, hey, there's 2 S's on there.
Whoops.
There is. So what I do, I ordered some more material, acrylic, you know, and got it there, cut it down, reprinted it, and sent my guy up there and swapped it out, and everybody's happy, you know. And then 2 weeks later after that, they're like, hey, we want to change it up. So now I'm making more money off of it.
Yeah.
You know. It's not much. I don't charge the county much. I know they're on a budget, and I know how things work and all that stuff. And I don't want taxpayers being like, "Hey, you're wasting your money on this crap," you know. And, you know, they're not really wasting the money. I mean, they're helping my business.
Yeah, well, that's true.
You know, it's a revolving circle. A lot of people don't know that. You know.
Yeah.
The money I spend today goes to this person, but later on it's going to go to this person. It's like a revolving door.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, we got to keep the money flowing. That's why our money value is lower now, because the money ain't flowing right.
Well, it ain't flowing here.
Well, it's going out of country.
Yeah, it's going somewhere else. Yeah. And that is why the diminution of our dollar is coming in. I remember when I was a kid, people used to go to other countries and stuff like that and talk about that. They're like, "Oh man, you do an exchange rate."
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, when we were kids, you know, you go get a bazooka bubble gum for 2 cents. Now they're 25, 30 cents. You know what I mean? You know, you used to go get now and laters.
Oh yeah.
Candy bars were like 30 cents when I was young.
Yeah, it was like $1 or something.
$2 and something.
Yeah. Oh man, that's nuts. Yeah, I remember like used to go in and getting like a Dr. Pepper, like a 20-ounce GP, and
70 cents.
Yeah, it was
98 cents.
Yeah, it was like super cheap.
$2.50.
You know, it was like one of those things when you're in, you know, getting a canned soda out of a machine that's 50 cents. You know, like, well, this is expensive because you can go get a Dr. Pepper, a 1 liter Dr. Pepper for, you know,
$1,
less than $1.
Yeah.
And
1 liter. I was thinking about the 2 liter, 3 liters, because I remember those.
Yeah, that's true, man. It's just wild. But yeah, that's very true though.
Yeah. So I try to make things right with customers, you know what I'm saying? And take accountability because I'm all about accountability.
I am too, very much.
Whether I was wrong or right, you know, I'm going to take account to it.
I'll definitely admit when I'm wrong, man. My wife made me really sure of that.
Yeah. I'm always wrong with my wife.
Yeah, me too.
It don't matter, dude.
Even when I'm right, I'm wrong.
Yeah. I think that's every man. You can't win with them, man.
Yeah, I do. It's all right, though. They usually keep us alive and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. They do.
Nah, I love my wife. She's cool. She comes up here and produces for me sometimes. She likes to come up on some conversations, and she'll chime in every now and then.
Got on. That's cool.
Yeah.
She's
She's been very supportive about this whole thing.
That's good, man. That's good.
You know?
My wife's a stay-at-home mom. I provide for the family. You know, we got a little bit of income coming. I rent out the other house, you know. And then my kids, my older kids that stay with us, you know, one lives in the movie theater, one lives in another room down there. And then my daughter, she has a tiny home, which, you know, she's get electricity and just a shower and stuff like that. So we kind of charge her a little bit, her and her boyfriend. But my wife's a stay-at-home mom. She keeps, the house is huge, and she keeps it clean. She mows. I don't have to worry about mowing because she'll do it during the week while I'm at work.
That's awesome.
And she has to mow an acre. Just to mow the acre. I mean, the pastures, we let the cows handle. But she handles all that stuff, weed eats. And my younger kids are starting to help her out a lot more now that they're getting old enough to do that. But she makes a lot of cool stuff, dude. Like right now she's making these books. And she's like, hey, can you print me like little acrylic things, you know, and stuff like that? And I was like, yeah, I will. You know, we'll cut it out with her cutter and print on it. And my daughter bring it home to her. And my daughter like in, you know, crafts and stuff. But she's making these really cool, kind of like she made one today, Toy Story.
Oh, okay.
And it has like bookmarkers. If she lets me steal one tomorrow, I'm going to bring you one.
Yeah, you should,
just so we can show what I'm talking about, you know. Even though I'm going to be all, you know, in my attire tomorrow.
Yeah. That's cool, though, man. You got to bring it, though, so you can show it.
Yeah, my wife makes some really cool stuff, and she'll get, like, cow skulls and like, rooster feathers and make something cool out of a cow skull or a cow hip, you know. It's just, where do you get these ideas from, you know?
Pinterest.
Now it's TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah. I don't even have a TikTok.
I don't even have a TikTok either, man.
You know, I don't think I have an Instagram. I got Facebook.
I have Facebook. I have an X account. I limit myself on both of them, so I'm allowed an hour a day on social media. I have an Instagram too, but I never get on Instagram, and everybody tells me I need to get on there with this thing, and I'll get there eventually. I'm still trying to figure out the production part of this thing to make it, you know, a little smoother, and I want to get it out to other platforms. But anyway, besides that, I don't have a TikTok. Never had a TikTok, and I keep my stuff hour a day. And it tells me like, hey man, you're out. You're out of your hour. You know, you're done. And I usually get on X about. It was at first for about once a day. I just like, let's see what the world's pissed off of. Now I get on it about every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah,
I've just taken a step back, man. I just got tired of being worked up all the time. And like I said, I'm a nerd. So when I see something, you know, I start researching and figuring out if it's true or not, and this and that. And now I have more time to deal with this and just appreciate life a little more. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's fine getting on Facebook every now and then and scrolling through what my friends are doing and seeing funny memes on Facebook, and that's pretty much all I see. Now it's getting kind of overtaken because I'll get caught up in woodwork or metalwork or, you know, jiu-jitsu things or rock crawling stuff.
Right.
You know, but honestly, I just get on there to flip through what my friends are doing and see some funny memes that I could share with my buddies and stuff like that. But I'm just taking a big step back.
I'm trying to, because Facebook can make me so damn mad at some of the stuff people post on there, and all this just racial stuff going on and all this, you know, political stuff going on. It just gets overwhelming, even for the party I'm for.
Yeah,
it's overwhelming. It's just too much. So I learned on Facebook that if you don't want to see none of that, there's a little person icon up there. You hit that and you see all your friends' stuff. You don't see none of that.
Yeah, I've noticed that too.
So now when I get on Facebook, I just go to my friends' stuff.
I hit my friends too and just see all my friends.
Yeah, I don't want to see none of the propaganda stuff no more. I don't want to see none of that stuff, that brainwash stuff.
Yeah.
You know, because it divides and makes you mad. But the main thing I use my Facebook for is for business.
Yeah, I use it for this, man.
It's free advertisement. And even though we do pay for advertising on Facebook because it can reach out to other people, and we've gotten a lot of business that way. You know, Facebook's a free app. But if you want to really push it forward, and it doesn't cost that much to do ads and stuff like that. And y'all go check us out, Texas Elite Graphics and Signs on Facebook, and like our page and check out everything we do. Hit us up on Messenger, or you can email me at Dwayne DEWA. No, I said that wrong, man. I don't even know how to spell my own name. It's
I love that.
I haven't even drank today, dude.
I'm not editing that out either.
Right, it's DEWAYNE at TexasElite.com. Hit me up on my email, man, and I'll hook y'all up.
Man, that's awesome, dude. But man, I've never been disappointed with anything that I gotten from you, and I know that other people haven't either. And it's amazing work that you're doing, you know. Right. And keep on keeping on, brother. And I love it. I love the accountability part of it, because that's a big thing to me too. Is you got to admit when you're wrong. You got to admit, you know, hey, I screwed up. It's cool. Yeah, and it's fine, man. And everybody out there too. It's fine if you mess up. Just make it right. That's the only thing that we can do with our lives is, you know, our integrity, you know, means something.
It does.
And it's okay. It's okay to be wrong. It's okay to mess up. You know, we need to have a little bit more grace for each other when stuff like that happens. You know, I grew up working in service industry as well, you know, waiting tables and bartending and stuff like that. And man, I remember one time I was waiting on this table and everything was going fine, you know, and this dude got his burger and it was on the side. It was mayonnaise and mustard, but it was both in the same container because he asked for mayonnaise and mustard, but they put it on the side. And I take it out there to him, and I guess I misunderstood him or whatever. And he started yelling and screaming at me for something that was in a container on the side of his burger that didn't even touch his burger. Yelling and screaming at me. I straight up told him, I said, I don't make enough to listen to this. I'm going to go get the manager.
Yeah, exactly.
And I worked in the service industry. Never said that to anybody. I don't know what happened that day. Sent the manager out there. I told the manager what I said first, and he was like, "You did what?" And I was like, "I'm sorry, man. You can fire me if you want to."
Yeah, but
he walked out there, and the guy was actually really polite to the manager. And then the manager came back to me and said he wants to talk to you. And I said, "Okay." So I walked up to him, and he goes, "I had no idea that you made $2.18 an hour, and that all of your money comes from you actually being out here and bringing servicing people and actually living off tips." He was like, "I thought you made minimum wage and made tips too." Right. He had no idea. And he was completely nice to me after that and apologized. And I was like, "Hey man, you know, I sat there and told you, hey, I got it wrong. It's cool. I'll go get it fixed for you. You know, not a big deal." Yeah. And you know, I was like, "You didn't have to yell and scream." I was like, "I wasn't rude. You know, I'm just trying to give you a good experience because you're here paying money, man." Yeah. You know, you're here paying money. Hopefully you tip me because I gave you a good experience, and that's all I'm banking on. Right. And it changed that guy's point of view about a lot of different things, and it's fine, man. Everybody, it's okay to be wrong sometimes, and it's okay when somebody screws up. They're not doing it on purpose. You know, just.
Well, I don't know about that. Dude.
Well, some people do. Some people do. I agree with you, but I'm just saying, like, we all need to think about things a little bit before we just go tear into everybody.
Well, I mean, me and my wife went out. It was the first date night we went on for a long time. Went out to eat. We got there, got our chips and salsa, got our drinks. She had a couple drinks. I had a couple drinks. No, in fact, I didn't drink that night. She did, and we made our order. And we're sitting there talking, eating chips, and they brought us more chips, and we're eating chips and salsa. And then 2 hours later, we're like, "Hey, where's our food?"
Oh, dang! And
we're like, then we realize and I'm hungry. I'm sitting here eating chips. I got full off of chips and salsa, so I told her, I simply called the waitress over, and I was very polite about it. I was like, hey, we've been waiting a long time. Go ahead and cancel our order. I'm just going to go ahead and pay for our drinks, and we could go ahead and go. But they insisted, no, just wait. And our food came right then and there, and I was like, I'm already full. I'm ready to leave. I've been here for 2 hours. I got kids at home. And they were like, well, you can have the meal for free. I said, absolutely not. I paid for the meal, and I actually left her a nice tip because I'm a tipper. Mm-hmm. I know how the industry is. You know what I mean? If I go and take my family and we eat $150 worth of food, I'm going to tip them. I'm going to pay a $250 bill. I'm going to make sure that person gets that tip because I know she's got, either kids at home to feed or family or whatnot. She's got bills. She's working for a reason, But I'm a big tipper, even if the service is bad.
I'm the same way. I tip no matter what.
Yeah.
I've left a couple notes sometimes. I've been like, you need to try a little harder.
Yeah. If they keep my soda full,
yeah,
and the service was still bad, they're getting a hell of a tip.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I've been into I won't say the place. I went to a place, me and my wife, and I still tipped like 20%. It's usually what I tip to. You don't do a good job, I guess.
Yeah.
But we're sitting there. Our drinks go down. Our chips and salsa's gone, and I'm looking around for our server, not seeing anything. But we're sitting in the bar area, so I walk up to the bar, and the bartender's sitting there. They can see me walk up, and they don't even look up from their phone. They're just on their phone, texting. So I sat there for about 2-3 minutes. And they did have a thing at the table where you can just pay. And so I paid, and they asked for a survey. So
you gave it to them.
I gave it to them.
Yeah.
And I told them, I was like, you need to do better.
Yeah.
And that was all put. I didn't put, anything else bad.
Nothing nasty.
I just said, y'all need to do better.
Yeah. Sometimes that works a lot. That goes longer ways than being ugly.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel a reason to cuss and scream at nobody,
Doesn't get you nowhere.
It doesn't. You can get mad. I cussed and screamed in the car at my wife. I ranted, and then I was like, all right, ran over, and I was just fine.
My wife was always like, I've always been like, with the kids, loud. They say it was yelling. I was just saying, no, you don't want to hear me yelling. I'm just being loud. I'm being more demand, Don't be so demand, but me being that way as they're growing up, if they mess up, mom's cushion.
Yeah.
But when she says I'm telling dad, oh no.
Yeah, so the same way.
You know what I mean?
No, don't tell dad.
And they're still like that. You know what I mean? Just don't tell dad. I'll give you an example. And I was really cool about it. My 16-year-old, so we live out on dirt roads in the country. I let him take the car around, playing, around the dirt roads, practices driving. And so he's like one day, hey, Dad, can I take the side-by-side? I was like, those are dangerous. I was like, yeah. So I laid it down to him. Don't be doing no drifting. Don't be doing nothing sharp turns because it could flip and kill you. Mm-hmm. Make sure you're wearing your seatbelt. Go the speed limit. Even though we're on the dirt roads, there's still a speed limit. It's 35 miles per hour. There's no postage on there, but it is.
Yeah.
Well, one day I missed a phone call from him twice, and I saw it, so I called him back, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he goes, side-by-side's got a flat tire, but it's enough to get me home. And I was like, okay, cool. It happens. So he parks the side-by-side. I'm in my shop. He parks the side-by-side in the and I heard it, into the garage at the house. And as I was going in, he was jumping in his friend's car, and he left. I went on and looked at the tire, and I just, okay. I waited 2 days. He comes outside, stretching, I was like, so what? How does side-by-side get a flat tire? And he just puts his head down. He goes, Dad, you know how it happened. I was like, you were drifting, weren't you? And he goes, yes, sir. All right, I took that away from him. But I was calm. But I felt that his upbringing with his mom, the way she did it and the way I did it, they're honest with me and they take the accountability that we always talk about. And that's all I want.
Yeah.
I don't yell at them no more. I don't do none of that. Because they know I'm serious. Mm-hmm. Just always be honest with me.
If you're honest with me, you go a lot longer than if you lie.
Yeah, because if you lie, it's gonna be bad. You know.
And I always grew up. I'm just a shitty liar, I guess. Well, I can't keep up with them either. I can't. So I'm pretty much an open book. You know, just
I told on
open.
myself.
Yeah, I do too all the time.
God.
My kid does it now too. It was funny. I mean, he's hilarious. He was telling a story the other day about how he had to do a presentation when he was in 8th grade.
Right.
On this book that they read. And he was like, I just froze. I couldn't do anything. And I ran out of the room. And he goes, I had to come back. And I just gave the presentation to the teacher. But she was like, so what happened, you know? And, you know, he gave her the presentation and went about his business. And then he was sitting there and he was like, but what really happened was I didn't read the book.
So he didn't give the presentation.
He did give a presentation, but like off the Cliff Notes version.
Oh, okay.
And, but he was like, he freaked out because he was like, I didn't read the book.
Wow.
And he was about to give a presentation on it. And I was like, oh, the truth comes out.
Yeah. Man. How old are your kids?
So I have a stepson that's 20, just turned 21. He's in, not right now, he's about to start his senior year at College Station though.
Okay, nice.
Civil engineer degree. So I just bought a gold ring from, cause he's in, Aggie land.
Yeah.
So I just bought a gold ring for him. He should get that sometime in October.
Nice.
And, he'll graduate after next year.
That's cool.
And, man, he's put in the work and, he deserves it.
Oh yeah.
And I told him, I was like, you put in the work, man. I'll buy the ring for you.
Hell yeah.
So something to be proud of.
Yeah.
You know,
absolutely.
nobody can take it away from you. You know, and he's done it. And he's kept his grades up the whole time and all that stuff. He's a good kid.
That's good. Kid. That's the only kid you got, or?
Yeah, that's all I got, man. I don't have any of my own kids. Me and my wife tried when we got married, but you know, some female stuff happened and didn't work out.
Yeah, it happens. A couple times with my wife, so.
You know, so it was one of those things like, that's fine. And I was like, now I get to be like kind of like an empty nester sometimes when he's in college, you know. It's like, oh yeah, I don't have to worry about much, you know. and I'm just like, all right, you know, I'm not trying to encourage him to have grandbabies too quick, but I'm like, I can't wait on for them grandbabies. Right. You know what I say? Not my responsibility. I'm just gonna spoil the shit out of them and teach them a bunch of shit they probably shouldn't know, and then send them home.
I got 6 grandkids. Is it still working?
Oh, what happened?
I don't know. There we go.
There it goes. That is wild. I just changed because I changed both cords, and that's a different mic too.
It is.
Well, it's the same mic you've had, but I changed. I had problems with another microphone, so I don't know what's going on there. It might be my interface, which is okay, I guess. I have another interface, but I need to do some system upgrades.
No. Can you hear me though?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you. It just has like a crackle for some reason.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what's going on with that. That pisses me off. But it's fine. I mean, this whole thing is kind of makeshift, you know.
Right.
I need to, now that I got kind of everything sort of go. I got a computer coming.
Are we gonna record this?
Oh yeah, I could probably. Is there anything else you want?
Nah, I'm pretty done.
All right,
I'm starting to get hungry.
10-4, brother. All right, we'll see you later, everybody. We're gonna wrap this up.
Peace out, guys.
Bye, y'all.